Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, angelic astrologer and spiritual consultant with angelmessenger.net, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, November 3rd through Sunday, November 9th, 2014. I just got done doing the November angel card reading, so that's for the whole month. You'll want to go on to YouTube and check out that reading just so that you can get an overview of all of the astrological things that are going to be upcoming for the month. And also, I did the angelic astrology article that I always post on Angel Messenger, so that also is up for your reading enjoyment. And that's going to go into depth into the universal numerological energies of November. It's going to take a look at the astrology of November as well and give you a written version. So be sure to look for both the monthly angel card reading for November and the angelic astrology article for November, both available on angelmessenger.net. Also, if you want a personal reading or you've thought about a personal reading, also look on angelmessenger.net for a description of who I am and the services that I offer. And I would love to be able to do a personal consultation for you, getting a little bit more in depth with your chart and with your energies to bring through whatever messages your angels and guides have for you. So for this week's reading, what we're going to look at here first is a little bit of the astrology for the week. So there's really not a whole lot happening until we get to Thursday, November 6th. And then we have a full moon in Taurus. And this full moon happens at 14 degrees of Taurus, which is about the middle degree. Taurus is about your resources, your money, your values, and it's an earth sign, so it deals with practicality and it deals with manifestation. So as we come up to that full moon on Thursday the 6th, you'll want to definitely put out your intentions, especially if it deals with those areas of your life. Then as we move towards Saturday, November 8th, Mercury, which is the planet that went retrograde for most of the month of October, it started out in Scorpio when it went retrograde, but it retrograded back into Libra. And it's still been in Libra up until November 8th, Saturday. It finally moves back into Scorpio once again. And Mercury in Scorpio is going to be a lot deeper, a lot more perceptive. It's very intuitive. It's very clairvoyant in the way of feelings. And so we actually call that clairsentience. And with that, again, you're going to be very perceptive at reading between the lines of what people are saying, digging beneath the surface, getting into your own subconscious, bringing forth shadow side issues so that they can be exposed and so that they can be thought about and healed and released. Then as we move to Sunday, the 9th of November, towards the end of the week, we have Venus is in Scorpio, and it's making a challenging aspect to Jupiter in Leo. And this is going to bring up a couple different things. Our sense of personal power as a woman, if you're a woman. Of course, it always deals with the divine feminine in general, so even you men out there, we're dealing with personal power, but of a divine feminine nature. We're also dealing with relationships on a very deep level. We're dealing with authenticity. We're dealing with our deep desires and what we really want out of life, whether it be in our career or in family or in relationships. And again, it's in a challenging aspect to Jupiter, but both Venus and Jupiter are considered benefics. We call them benefics, which is beneficial energy, beneficial planetary energy. So even though they're in a challenging square aspect, I don't feel like it's going to be as challenging as if it were between two, other planets out there. But what you do want to look for is being pushed into really being authentic. It's going to kind of expand your perceptions as far as what you really truly desire out of life and in relationships. And you also want to be aware with Venus in a square aspect to Jupiter here, when it comes to overindulgence of things, overindulgence of things that you like, overindulgence of things you desire. So, you know, food and drink and overindulgence even in love and relationships. These are things also that you'll want to pay attention to. Now, our stones for the week to choose your extra special message card. We have a citrine quartz cluster here. And the citrine is a stone that vibrates to the solar plexus chakra and perhaps even the sacral chakra. So we're dealing with our sense of power, our sense of willpower, our sense of creative energy. And this is a very energizing stone, and it's a cleansing stone. It doesn't hold negative energies. It actually helps to cleanse them away. Citrine is also considered a stone of abundance, and because it's a cluster, you know, there's many different little crystalline points in here. We're dealing with group energy too. So this can be very helpful for if you're needing to have a meeting or a group discussion or do some sort of group activities. So that's your first stone of choice. Your second stone of choice is chrysocolla, and this is a chrysocolla egg. It's got some beautiful blues, turquoise kind of color blues, even some greenish kind of color in there. So it's going to vibrate to the heart chakra and the throat chakra. It helps to heal relationship issues from the heart chakra perspective, helps improve communication issues from the throat chakra perspective. And then your last stone of choice, this is a red jasper. And this is one of the stones I picked up in Brazil when I went to Brazil in September. And this is going to vibrate to the base chakra or the root chakra. And this is very good for health matters, for helping to bring health matters back into balance. It's good for rebirthing, so any area of your life that you need to rebirth. It's also really good for boundaries, keeping your boundaries, setting your boundaries. So again, your stones of choice for this week is the citrine cluster, chrysocolla, and red jasper. So this week we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for our main message, and then for your special message card, it's going to be from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, also by Doreen Virtue. So let's give our tarot deck a shuffle here, and we're going to call in all of our angels, our guides, master guides and teachers of the light. We call in the archangels, all of those that can provide us with whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge is in our highest and best interest for the week. Okay, so this one's showing me that it wants to be pulled, and we're going to give these another little shuffle here and look for that second card. This is the second card. This one here, though, is the third card. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to see what the message is for this week. So we start off with a Major Arcana card, Major Arcana number 4, the Emperor, with Archangel Michael. And it says organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. Now, again, we have that full moon in Taurus coming up, and Taurus energy is earthy, it's practical, it's grounded, which is very much what this card to me is all about. The number 4 also, to me, vibrates to the sign of Taurus and is very earthly and practical in nature. So we're building a solid foundation this week. We're dealing with practical earthly matters this week. We're dealing with our sense of authority, our sense of logic, our sense of groundedness, our sense of being able to create and manifest what it is that we desire in life. But let's get more information about what this card is about by turning over the second card. Okay, so we have the Knight of Air here. The Knight of Air says intelligent, decisive, idealistic, tireless. And at the bottom it says events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options, and it also talks about creative solutions. Now, the air suit is all about communication, So we're dealing with communication either from our guides and angels from a universal perspective. We're dealing with communications with other people. And I do feel like it is probably with other people, with organizations that we're dealing with messages and communications with, because of the Emperor card being the first card that we started out with, which again is very earthy and practical. So I feel here that there's something going on in the realm of, again, gathering information or communications with other people. There's something about insights and ideas and making a decision here. There is a creative element here with the Knight of Air, so we're talking about coming up with some sort of creative ideas and creative solutions as far as the manifestations of what it is we desire. Again, we're building a solid foundation for ourselves this week. And I just feel like, to me, with this being a full moon in Taurus week, we're talking about the manifestation of things in our life. Money, finances, career, goals, projects. And I feel like with the Knight of Air here, we're just coming up with ideas either within our own thought processes, our own intellect, coming up with ideas as far as how to bring things into manifestation, or again, also talking with other people, communicating with other people as to the best way to take solid, concrete steps forward. Let's look at what the last card is for the week. Another air card and another court card. So I really feel like we're dealing with people this week. This is the King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. And it says, speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. And so this is definitely a week of mental thought processes. It's a week of, I really feel, communication with other people, collaborating with other people, discussing our ideas with other people, and this does seem to be professionals. I feel like this is a lot about our career, our life path, our goals, our ambitions, who we are out in the world, you know, as far as our destiny is concerned. Because it has a professional kind of feeling here that it's not like it's communication with just our friends and family, but I feel like this is communications and discussions and ideas coming through when it comes to practical and professional matters. And again, who we are out in the world, where we want to go next with our lives, with our careers. You know, what ideas can we come up with to make our goals a reality? You know, to make our goals create a solid foundation for ourselves in life, and to organize things. I feel like this is about organizing our ideas and organizing our thoughts into some logical perspective. And you know, I feel like the eclipses that we had in October really threw a lot of energy into the mix, a lot of intense energies into the mix, and it might have thrown us off balance, especially with Mercury being retrograde for almost the full month of October. So now that Mercury's direct, now that it's going into Scorpio later this week, now that the energies have cleared and settled a little bit from all those eclipses that we had, I feel like things now can become more clear, become more grounded, and we can start to pursue our practical goals and ideas and ideals through coming up with a plan, basically. So let's see what your extra special message is depending on your stone of choice. So we're going to give the goddess cards a shuffle here and ask for guidance depending on what stone you chose. And for those of you that chose the citrine cluster, okay, the citrine cluster, people, interesting, because this is Mary Magdalene with unconditional love, and it says, love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. So I feel like there's an element here, the word that pops in is acceptance, that we have to accept where we are right now. We have to accept the circumstances around us and we have to love who we are and where we're currently at. They're almost saying that by having any negative thoughts or feelings about where you're at or how your life is right now actually will create more negative energy. It will create a path that doesn't create any grounded practical steps towards what you really want, okay? Because your thoughts create reality. So instead of having any negative thoughts or feelings, be in a space of peace and compassion and non-judgment, and again, unconditional love of yourself, your life, and it's almost like gratitude, having gratitude, just like this is the month of Thanksgiving for us in the U.S. And so we have to have gratitude for who we are and the people in our lives, what we have. And this is going to help us to create those practical next steps and the creative inspiration, ideas that we need to move forward, to bring things into manifestation. Okay, so let's see what the special message card is for those who chose Chrysocolla. This one on the bottom, my fingers were touching. And this is Freya. And Freya says the message at the top says bold. And it says, unleash your adventurous side, take risks, and be daring. So this is a very different energy than the Mary Magdalene with the citrine cluster. This is saying to take a risk, be adventurous, be courageous, to kind of bring out that strong leadership side to you, that passionate side that gets things done and has a sense of their own willpower to move forward. You know, what strikes me as I look at this is she's wearing a helmet that almost appears to have angel wings on it. And so we're talking about listening to higher guidance too. I really feel like this is connected to higher guidance and higher ideas. I feel like there's ideas that you have or ideas that are going to come in this week that are going to be particularly pertinent to your path. And this message is saying to be courageous and strong and bold about where you take those ideas, to kind of jump on those and move forward with those. And that's going to help you to create and manifest the path that you're seeking to create and manifest. Okay, and then for those of you that chose Jasper, you know, I was going to shuffle these, but this card on the bottom is just really calling to me, so I'm just going to turn the card over that's on the bottom. And this is Bridget, and it says, don't back down. It says, stand up for what you believe is right. This is kind of a similar message to Freya. It's interesting because only the first special message card takes a different approach. But for those of you that chose the Jasper, the red Jasper, Bridget, you know, wants you to stand in your truth, to stand in your sense of power and authenticity, and to do what you know is right for you. Now, we have to remember that sometimes what's right for us isn't right for everybody else in our lives, but focus in and contemplate what is appropriate for you. What's the appropriate steps for you? What's the appropriate decisions for you? And you know, there's this sense of, there's a yellow, kind of yellow-orange, I don't know if it's a ball of light, I'm trying to see what it is that she's holding there, but she's holding something, like a ball of light that's yellow and orange. And again, this speaks to your sense of willpower and courage and creative self-expression. So move forward with conviction this week. With whatever it is, whatever ideas or thoughts that you have that comes up. And if you're in a group situation, whether it be career or other professional groups, make sure that you don't, you know, sit back and bite your tongue, basically. Make sure that you speak up and speak your truth and you know, stand up for what you know is your truth and what you know is right. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, take a look at the Angelic Astrology article, monthly angel card video, and I send you all much love and light. Much gratitude to you all for who you are and for supporting me and for sending your lovely comments. And until next week, many, many angel blessings to you.